This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.
I'm Faye Fredericks with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. A rise in RSV cases across the U.S. right now. Here in Arizona, cases are up more than 100% compared to a typical season. Dr. Frank Esper with the Cleveland Clinic says RSV typically hits this time of year.
Usually around December, January, we see a huge surge in babies who are hospitalized for RSV infection. Most commonly, they're under the age of 2, but really under the age of 6 is when they 6 months is when they really have a hard time with it.
Earlier this year, RSV vaccines were approved for women who are pregnant and adults 60 and older. There's also an RSV immunization shot for babies under 8 months. Dr. Esper recommends getting one if you're eligible. Our Eleni Dow checking with the Arizona Department of Health Services about this spike. See her story tonight. New details tonight on what led up to a murder-suicide that left 4 people and a family dog dead in Phoenix. Police say Brian Fitz shot and killed his wife, Sage Fitz, and her co-worker, Carmen Buscemi, on Monday. Police say Fitz then drove to his home, where police say he shot his 12-year-old son and the family dog before turning the gun on himself. Today, we heard from Sage Fitz's aunt, who says before all this, Sage Fitz wanted to get a divorce. The aunt describes Brian Fitz as a controlling, jealous person, something she says escalated after a motorcycle crash that caused him to use a wheelchair.
Brian, over the years, was very narcissistic, very mean to Sage, very demanding. He was on disability. And after 20 years, she had finally had enough and decided that she wanted a divorce.
Yeah, that dynamic, part of the reason the family thinks this happened. Valley man facing charges accused of shooting 4 people at a Phoenix coffee shop back in November. Suspect is facing multiple charges, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The shooting on November 17th was at a strip mall near 36th Street in McDowell. Witnesses telling police the coffee shop was full of customers when the gunman pulled up and started firing. 4 people were shot. All are expected to recover. Now to the border. Senators unable to reach a deal on the border this week. Leaders making that announcement late last night. The Senate is now pushing negotiations over the larger national security package, which also includes aid to Ukraine and Israel to early next year. Officers confirming a man was shot near I-17 and Thomas and later died at the hospital around 6 this morning. Officers are now looking for the suspect. They say ran from the scene before they got there. State Representative Athena Salmon announcing she's resigning from the Arizona legislature to focus on protecting abortion rights. The Democrat stepping down at the end of the month to work as director of Arizona campaigns for reproductive freedom for all. Salmon, who represents District 8, was first elected to the Arizona House of Representatives in 2016. SRP is building their largest wind energy center on their power grid. The Babbitt Ranch Energy Center is being built 25 miles north of Flagstaff. Once completed in 2024, the wind farm will produce enough energy to power about 40,000 homes with a total of 50 wind turbines on site. Night to forget for the Phoenix Suns team, falling to DeAndre Ayton and the Trailblazers on the road last night. They led by as many as 16 points in the first half, but blew that lead after giving up 38 points in the third quarter. Team's offensive execution and defensive intensity struggling in the second half of this one. Team says they know they have to be better and more disciplined moving forward. They'll look to rebound against the Sacramento Kings. That game tips off Friday night at 8.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sullen. Some rain in the valley this morning and a slight chance again tomorrow evening before the core of this storm we've been tracking for you all week long arrives on Friday. We'll start the day in the 50s, end up around 69 degrees at lunchtime, and hit 77 around 4 p.m. under mostly sunny skies here across the valley tomorrow. There's our storm, though, still right on schedule to get here throughout the day on Friday, dumping a lot of rain and snow for the highest elevations. We do have an area of low pressure that'll come down from the north and kind of join forces with it. That's going to help lower the snow level even more as we head into Saturday and Sunday. So as we look at that weather action day on Friday, a chance of anywhere from a ½ inch to an 1.5 inches of rain across the valley and across central Arizona. A snow level around 8,000 feet. But as we head into Saturday and Sunday, that'll drop to 5,500 feet. Here's a look at the next 7 days and the cooler air that's coming in with this storm, too. Phoenix down in the mid-60s starting Friday.
This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.